What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we always start this show by being transparent. Yesterday, I went 2-2. Um, let's see, I had JK, which is Kaminga, over 5.5 rebounds. That was just ridiculous. Like Steve Kerr, he starts off the game with 2 rebounds, 2 assists, like in the first couple minutes. Then he gets taken out for like 12 straight minutes. And then he puts them back in with like the brain dead people who can't do nothing. Like you can't put Kaminga next to Pods and Spencer to get like, what are you doing? And then he just takes him out at the end of the game. So Steve Kerr doesn't like Kaminga. That's probably just a bad bet because of that. And Jalen Johnson was the other loser. He was you know, decided he didn't want to do anything yesterday as far as rebounding. The two winners, I honestly cannot remember, but it was a juice 2-2 day. Vino, hopefully yesterday was better for you. How you doing today?
I'm all right, Skee. NBA was no better for me. A bad read on Orlando. Thought maybe the defense was playing better. It was not. Atlanta had them wire to wire, so there was nothing good happening there. Nor in the same game you just mentioned, Golden State. I had the total over 225 is where they landed. 233 is what I needed. Fourth quarter slowed up a little bit. Only got 50 points combined, but again, these last couple days have been a rough stretch. Monday, Tuesday so far. So hopefully today, snap out of it a little bit and get back onto the winning column.
Yeah, the two winners. I just looked. It was Giddy over his rebounds and assists. That was fairly easy, and the Pelicans to win. That was the two winners for yesterday. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We appreciate you tapping in. Anthony says, "Hello, all. How's everyone? I feel terrible, and I think you can hear it in my voice." And yeah, so I'm gonna do my best to get through this. And Guppy says, "Got a live feed. He's happy. He's ready for some winners." Um, if it's your first time, anybody out there watching the show, today will be a little bit different just because, like I said, I don't feel so great. So we won't touch every single game, but we will get through a good amount. All right, Vino, let's get through it. First game, 5-13, 5-14, Philly and Cleveland. Opened up 9.5 for Cleveland, looks like 10. Total opens 233.5, looks like 235.5. Garland, Hunter, Allen, Mero, all questionable. Struce out for the Sixers. McCain, George, and B. Barlow, all out. I would, I mean, I know the Sixers just played, but I would be a little hesitant, laying a big number with, if Garland's coming back in his first game. Also, you could be missing all of these guys, and I would still be hesitant with that big number. So Sixers are pass. What do you think, Vino?
Yeah, I'm going to lean on the same team, but in a different way, Ski. I think Philly, for what it's worth, is like the third or fourth most efficient offense in the NBA right now. Without Embiid out there tonight, McCain doesn't matter. McCain hasn't played much, but it's the core we talked about yesterday. And I like when Adam Bone is on the floor for Philadelphia. His energy level is about 100 times what Joel Embiid's is. So I thought 112 and a half team total was a little low here. Cleveland hasn't really shown defensive capability this season. Philly, all they do is score and run. Even on back-to-backs, I think the Sixers that'll be present tonight on the floor will get up and down. We'll see what Cleveland brings to the table. Like you say, the injury report, when we get it later, that's four key guys right there for Cleveland. But for me, it's going to be Philadelphia. I'm zeroing in on their team total 112 and a half over.
You're not worried about them being on a back to back, as far as like just looking at them specifically, not including the Cavs.
Yeah, no, I'm really not. Only because I've seen these guys just go, go, go. They've been on a back to back already this year. I don't see a lack of energy in Philadelphia, Ski, with Edgecombe and Maxi and Oubre. And like I say, Bona on the floor is even a bigger bonus. He'll start tonight in all likelihood with Embiid out. So I'm going to go that route.
All right, there's a lot of young guys over there in Philly, so maybe it won't affect them as much as some other guys. Jazz and Pistons, um, not a whole lot of movement on the side or total. Kessler remains out. No Sasser, no Harris, no Ivy. I feel like, I mean, the Jazz have been pretty scrappy. They still catching 10 points here. Detroit, I mean, are they taking that next step up? They're 5-2 to start this year. I love Cade Cunningham as a player. 9.5. Like, I don't know when's the last time we saw Pistons minus 9.5. This just stands out to me. Makes me think that, they'll run them off the court at home here. Any thoughts from you?
Long road trip for the Jazz, right? They've been on the road for a while now. We'll see if they wear down. The other night, the shooting was horrendous against Boston. Their 3-point shooting was terrible. Boston's was terrible as well. But that whole offensive performance out of Utah, a little bit uncharacteristic. I don't know if it's a product of not having everybody on the floor or not, but Detroit is in that probably a little bit better, I would say, than Boston defensively when they want to be. Second game out of Mexico City. Detroit played pretty well the other night. I'm with you. I don't know that I'd want to lay 9.5, but I did look toward total here at 232. Didn't play it, but I was looking for a bounce back out of Utah. And Utah defensively has been an absolute sieve. I mean, the only reason Boston scored as few as they scored the other night is because I think they were somewhere in the vicinity of 11 for 51 from 3-point range. And Jaylen Brown, I know, was 0 for 9, and he still had 36, going 0 for 9 from 3. So Utah doesn't defend. Could be just one of those up and down playground styles. I could look over Skee, but like I said, I haven't bet it yet. Oh,
My bad. I was muted. Over Pistons K props. I can see any of those. Dropping Dime says Jazz have not broke 103 in any of their road games. He likes their team total under tonight. Good stuff. Next up, Wizards and Celtics. It did go up to 12.5 from 11, and the total went up about 3 points. I'm seeing 233, 33.5. Celtics. I mean, I feel like they should be embarrassed. I mean, we know they're missing a lot from last year, but still, that was pretty embarrassing last game. Washington will be without Middleton, and Washington hasn't been looking great lately. One person I trust for Washington, Keyshawn George, especially with Middleton out. His point prop was 13.5 this morning. I'm almost certain it's gone up 14.5. Like, he's getting he averages a little bit over 17. He's getting 15, every single night, as long as he doesn't get in foul trouble or foul out. Even when he does get in foul trouble, he still makes it a lot of times. But all I'm saying is he'll have a lot of opportunity without Middleton on the court. Boston, not the best defensive team. I think he can get 14, 15 points. So Keyshawn George over on his point prop for me. What do you think, Vino?
Yeah, I think they'll score. Like I'll just take what I said earlier and apply it here. Boston 11 for 51, 21.6% from 3. Not great for the Celtics. I would expect a bounce back here against this defensive. The Wizards, 5th worst in the league in defensive efficiency, yet they're the second fastest pace. This game's going to go up and down. I'll go back to what you said about Jaylen Brown, thinking he's on a track team more than a basketball team. This game should have plenty of opportunity to score.
I got to stop you right there, Vino.
Go ahead.
I got to stop you. Jaylen Brown is a liar, bro. I don't know what the hell he was talking about. They're not running. They're playing at the slowest pace in the league. Whatever he said, throw it out the window to me.
I got him here, pace 12. But it is slower.
Maybe I'm mistaken. That's my bad, but I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I saw. My bad, you know.
Jaylen Brown, you're a damn liar.
No, I have the Celtics at 28th for pace. 28th.
That's crazy. How do I have them 12? Okay. I don't know. This one goes by possessions per game. Maybe we're going off different figures, but we'll straighten it out. But let's just say they're, for sake being, they're bottom tier. The Knicks are also bottom tier. And he lying about his hair. Gotta love the chat. The Knicks are bottom 4 in pace as well. They got 119 the other night against this team. So for me, Boston shoots a little bit better than 11-51. It's interesting to watch these guys. Peyton Pritchard, here's something that entered my mind. These guys like Peyton Pritchard and Sam Hauser that came off the bench and shot threes as role players, now thrown into extra minutes roles, not really shooting as well as they had. It might be an adjustment period for them. Not sure, but I know Washington will push. They do it to everybody. Like I say, they allowed the slow-footed Knicks to get to 119 the other night. So it could be an overplay for me over this 233.5. They pushed it from 230 to 233.5. Little bit of a move there. We'll see if I get to the window with it.
I'll be rooting for you, Rob Veno, but Jaylen Brown, you're a damn lie.
We got to have one of those drop buttons where we can press that every now and again. Jaylen Brown, a damn. We use
All
it.
right, let's keep going. We got some more games here. Houston and Grizzlies. Not a whole lot of movement on side or total. Let's check the injuries. Steven Adams, Jabari Smith Jr., both questionable. DFS out. We know Van Fleet is out. Memphis, same four guys: Clark, Edie, Jerome, Pippen out. No, seeing Adams and Jabari Smith, it does give me a little bit of hesitation. I mean, the Rockets, they started off a little shaky. They won 4 in a row, right? They're supposed to be a really good defensive team. And I don't know. Something like my first initial thought when I thought about this game was, damn, Grizzlies and John Morant got to go against all that length. Like, it's going to be hard getting to the paint and scoring. Could be minus some of that length if both Adams and Jabari Smith don't play. And then I always say, to win by margin, for me, I like teams that can shoot the three well, defend the three well. I don't view Houston as a good 3-point shooting team. So on the road, laying this many points, it makes me hesitate. Now, I understand a lot of people are going to run to the window and just immediately fade the Grizzlies because Grizzlies haven't looked good. I don't think they haven't covered their last 5 games. I know that for sure. And John Morant, just all the drama that's going on. You don't know if he's going to be out there wanting to play or what. Been a lot of different opinions on him. There's been some ex-NBA players, some Hall of Famers talking about him, saying what he should do. I'm wondering how it's going to turn out. Man, I want to say that, at some point, either it's going to be like this. It's going to be like when Jimmy Butler was in Miami and he's just loafing around until they finally trade him. They're going to keep, doing that route, or they're going to figure things out and he's just going to, come and show everybody that he's still that guy. I have a tough time thinking that it could be tonight, but they're at home. I don't believe in laying with Houston. I want to try to find reasons to back the Grizzlies. What do you think about this game?
Well, I generally don't play under Skee, but I played it here. That post game out of Ja the other night, they asked him the question, is the relationship between you and management irreparable? And he said, yeah, they told you that, right? So he throws everything toward management, but he was not happy. You watched the game the other night, which was the game I wanted to see. Whole offense looked disjointed. He didn't look all that engaged. 5 of 16. His backcourt partner, Jalen Wells, was 2 of 14. They scored 105, 106 in that game. Honestly, I don't think like you're saying, he doesn't want to be there. When he's out on the floor, I don't think by the looks of the other night and by the sound of his comments afterwards in the locker room in that post game with the reporter, it sounds like his interest level here is 0. I didn't play the Rockets for a couple of the reasons you mentioned, injuries and whatnot, but 232.5 just looked way too high for this game to me. I think it probably lands somewhere in the lower 220s. So I'm going to get to probably the under in this game, and be interesting to keep an eye on what goes on with Memphis here, because when a guy tells you he can't repair the relationship between him and the management, it's that far gone, then I don't want to be on any part of that.
Yeah, it's tough. It's definitely tough. Maybe it's a wait and see, but man, at some point, it's hard. In this business, we always say, they're not gonna the books, the market, they're not gonna let you beat them forever on the same thing. Like I said, the Grizzlies haven't covered in forever. At some point, they're gonna be getting too many points.
Right.
It's just
Right.
it's tough when you also gotta think about the effort the players are gonna give in that game. So it's hard. I guess I need a little bit more time with Memphis and Houston. Pelicans and Mavs. Shout out to the Pelicans yesterday. I was on them. They got their first win of the season. Barely, but they got it. They saved Willie Green's job. I know he's happy. Tonight, Missy and Poole are both questionable. Zion out for the Mavs. Lively, AD, Exum, Kyrie all out. A lot missing in this one, Vino. Pelicans on the back to back. Can't look towards the Pelicans. Absolutely not. And it's just, I was on them yesterday because they're finally playing a sorry team. No LaMelo. They're at home, desperate for a win. They finally got that win. They could be satisfied now. Playing on the back to back, could be missing some guys. And the Mavs, they have been they haven't been playing up to how everybody viewed, this roster will perform this season. Um, and a lot of it, probably is Jason Kidd just being an idiot. I mean, he's not dumb. He's a smart guy. He's a good player, good coach, but he's being dumb right now, trying to put Cooper Flag at point guard and not allowing the team to thrive with a real point guard. So if you told me D'Angelo Russell was starting tonight, I would feel a lot more comfortable about laying the points with the Mavs. You told me D'Lo was starting, I'll be looking at his props as well, even without him starting. I'm interested in his assists at 5.5. So that's where I'm at with this game. Tell me D'Lo starting. I think it's Mavs and D'Lo props. What do you think, Vino?
I played the Dallas side, and it's a lot of points, so I had to kind of hold my nose and play it. But the situation screams toward Dallas. That game last night that the Pelicans won, it's 112-108 Charlotte with a couple minutes left. It took an 8-0 run out of the Pelicans at the end of the game to win that thing. So they were they were actually in danger of losing that game too. Before I open my mouth, because I do not want to quote wrong numbers, I showed Dallas number 3 in pace in the NBA. Where you got them?
Oh, that does. I mean, just thinking about the Dallas team, that doesn't sound right, but I'm gonna tell you right now. My bad. Pace, I have them at Dallas third. That's correct.
Yeah, so you got the third fastest team, and I showed New Orleans again, the second slowest team. And you're in a back to back. You like to play slower. The other side's going to run because they know you're in back to backs. I just think that at some point in time, Dallas can create a little bit of margin here in this particular game over the course of 48 minutes, and probably sustainable because New Orleans just doesn't have that. They showed it last night, so I won't say they don't have it at all because they showed comeback ability last night to win that game in the end. But like you say, that was going after their first win against a team that was severely hobbled. I think Dallas is the right side here situationally, Skee. So -8.5 was one of the things I played today.
I like it. All right, let's keep going. Heat and Nuggets went up from 8 to 9.5. Total went from 239 as high as 242. And looking at injuries here, if I can get there, Jamal Murray, Julian Strother, both probable. Yakachonis, questionable for the Heat. No Hero, no Rozier.
He ain't coming back.
When they're gonna take him off? I'm gonna keep saying his name though. I'm gonna keep his name alive. As long as they put him on there, I'm gonna keep saying it just because it's funny to me. But the Heat, this is what their third game in 4 nights. They played the Lakers, they played the Clippers. Now they come into elevation and play Denver. That just doesn't seem like a good spot for this Heat team. Denver, I don't think of them like I never like them defensively, really. But the pace that Miami likes to play, I don't know. I feel like Miami's going to be worn out in this game. That's just my thought. And Denver, like, I feel like they can score really on anybody. So I'm leaning Nuggets here, but nothing with conviction right now. How about you?
Yeah, it's funny because Miami continues to just play rapidly no matter but this is the fourth of a 4-game road trip. Like you say, it's third in 4 nights. It's fourth overall on the road at San Antonio, at Lakers, at Clippers. Not much travel there between Lakers, Clippers, and that back-to-back, they scored 120. They just seem to get their points no matter what they do defensively. They might get their points here because like you said, Denver doesn't play any defense. I looked immediately at their team total, but I shied away because it was 116.5. And I thought, well, maybe they don't make 117 in this particular instance. But it's the way I'd look if I had to play because Denver just seems to be fine beating teams, 130 to 120. They don't mind giving them up as long as they're scoring them. So I like the way Miami's played throughout so far. They've stuck to their guns and played this fast pace, still number one in tempo. If I had to play, I'd look Miami team total over, but I do think that number's set a little bit too high. I would have preferred something like 13 and a half, 14 and a half in that range. Up here's a little high.
Yeah, if you tell me Miami's getting over the team total, I'm just betting the full game over because I think Denver's going to score. I worry about just the travel fatigue and playing so many games lately. I worry. Nuggets are over for me, Rob Veno. All right, man. Finally, last game, dying here. Spurs and Lakers opened up 2.5, still 2.5. Total open 230.5. Looks like 227.5. Olenek, Sohan, Waters, all questionable. Let me just refresh this. It says, yeah, okay. De'Aaron Fox, Dylan Harper, Luke Cornett out for the Lakers. Jackson Hayes is probable. Austin Reeves is questionable. LeBron, Kleba, Thiero, Vincent out. Um, I mean, I heard Wimby say, how much he respects Luca and he doesn't think he's ever won versus Luca. I also know that Wimby's a lot better this year than he has been in the past couple of years. With that said, missing Dylan Harper, that's a big loss at point guard for this team. Not getting De'Aaron Fox. I know we haven't seen him yet, but it's gonna be a lot on Castle. So I can see Castle scoring tonight. I mean, you don't have the best unless it's Marcus Smart or somebody else. I mean, Lakers defense, especially at the guard position, is just not great. And his usage is so high um, without Harper, without anybody else there, at the point guard. So Castle props, I can understand. Outside of that, I don't know whether Reeves plays or not. I'm kind of thinking that the Lakers are gonna be able to score too. Luca versus the guards over there, they're not gonna have anything for him. Reeves versus the guards over there, he's gonna be able to score and get to the free throw line if he does play. You just got to worry about Wimby down there in the paint. I can see, maybe they. I mean, if you put a shooter out there, a center, obviously Wimby can take advantage of him on the other end. But I see the Lakers trying to get Wimby away from the paint and I think they can score on this Spurs team. So I over or Lakers for me, really more so Lakers. Luca, I think he gets the job done today. Can you talk me off the Lakers?
Well, I would say there's a huge gap in defenses here. San Antonio, the number one rated defensive efficiency team in the league. A lot of that obviously has to do with Wemby at the rim and being such a good rim protector. So when you said that you'd like to see them draw him away from the rim, makes a lot of sense. Whether they can or not remains to be seen. But they are the number one defensive efficiency team in the league. They're also again, Skee, I'll check with your numbers. I show San Antonio the slowest paced team in the NBA, just not getting up and down. And the Lakers, although they score a lot of points, they're efficient, but they're fairly slow too. My first look here, again, and it's come out of my mouth once already today, was towards the under. They've bet it that way, down to 227.5. But I think San Antonio defensively is just good enough to get this done. We're going to see something else creeps into my mind where the other night Luca doesn't play, Austin Reeves doesn't play, the Lakers win. Now Luca's back. It's the NBA. They probably don't win tonight. But for me, it would probably be a look, and it's the exact opposite of what you said. And very seldom do we disagree as much as we've done today. But I think that I would look San Antonio because of the defensive edge that they have, and also probably a little bit under. Still haven't played, might get there. Injury report's important here to me, especially where Austin Reeves is concerned. Rui.
All right. Yeah, JoJo likes Rui points and rebounds. All right, Vino, we made it. I didn't I made it to the end. All right. I'm just gonna pass it to you, Rob. I'm not putting anything up on the screen. If there's anything you would like to promote, feel free. If you have a best bet for the show, we'd love to hear it.
Real quick, we'll just tell everybody Weekend Warrior football package up and available. Wagertalk.com, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, all football, just $49. If you're into the football, you obviously want to get involved there. One last thing I will say is that those involved in college basketball, you can check me out with Brian Power and Adam Trigger, 10 a.m. every morning on Wager Talk's Full Court Press College Hoop Show. Let me go back to where we started. I like the Sixers team total over 112.5. It's going to be my best bet. One of the two things that I did bet today, the other one being Dallas. So if you want to take that into consideration as well, you can. But again, I explained the reasons why I like Philadelphia. I like the energy on this team right now. They don't play a lot of defense. They push pace and they do score. And if Cleveland's injury list has even a couple of those guys off, especially Jared Allen, they probably will score more than 112.5. So that's my play here. Best bet, Philadelphia 76ers team total over 112.5.
Good stuff from Rob Veno. For myself, my best bet will be Keyshawn George over 13.5, 14.5 points, whatever you can get. He's had 15 plus 5 of the 7 games. No Middleton. He'll have a lot more on his plate tonight. And I don't think they fear that Celtics defense over there. So I think he'll be able to get 15 plus tonight. That's Keyshawn George for the Washington Wizards. Vino, appreciate you taking the time to cap these games with me. We'll be back doing it again tomorrow. Everybody in the chat, appreciate you guys tapping in too. Good luck, everybody, on all your action, and we will catch you guys tomorrow.